The famous serenity prayer begins with, "God grant me the ability to accept the things I cannot change." Many of us accept that life is unpredictable and that we must learn to live with the unexpected. However, the great German philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche, takes this concept to the next level. He defines his formula for human happiness as Amor Fati, a love of fate. That one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backwards, not in all eternity. Not merely bear what is necessary, still less conceal it, but love it. He proposes that we should strive not only to accept our destiny, but to accept it and even love it. Amor Fati, the love of fate. It is a mindset philosophy practiced by the Stoics. Epictetus explained it as, "Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens happen the way it happens. Then you will be happy." It is the attitude that motivates us to make the most of every situation, to view every experience, no matter how difficult, as something to be accepted, not avoided, to not only accept it, but to embrace it and be enriched by it. The key word here is proactive. It's not about being passive or giving up. Instead, it's about being proactive. It's about learning how to see the good and the bad in every situation and growing from it. This isn't about blind optimism. This is about seeing every situation, good or bad, as a part of a bigger picture. Acceptance with love is what Amor Fati is all about. It's about embracing what's already happened, what's happening, and what's yet to come. It's about understanding that everything in the universe is changing, and that without change we would cease to exist, our relations would cease to exist, and we would cease to laugh, to cry, to love, to create, to grow. How can we practice loving our fate? We now have a sense of Amor Fati, but the main question that comes to our mind is, how can we love our fate? Practicing growth mindset. The concept of a growth mindset is based on the conviction that one can develop their capabilities and gain knowledge from their experiences. This is due to the fact that one's identity is not immutable and cannot be altered. A growth mindset encourages one to view failure as an opportunity to expand their capabilities, rather than retreating into a cocoon and avoiding the world. When faced with difficulties or obstacles, one can use a growth mindset to view the situation as an opportunity to learn, adjust, and develop. It helps us to see criticism as a chance to learn, failure as an opportunity to grow, positive side to each event, patience and perseverance. Accepting Amor Fati isn't something that happens overnight. It's a long, drawn-out process. We must be patient and persistent in our progress, accepting that failure and resistance are normal and unavoidable. By continuing to focus on our personal development and adhering to the principles of Amor Fati, we can gradually create a more accepting, content, and harmonious existence. When it comes to Amor Fati, we're talking about changing how we look at what's happening to us or what's going on in our lives. Have we had our ups and downs? Well, what chance did that give us to grow? Did we ever experience loss? How did it teach us to take things more seriously? Did we ever lose an opportunity? What kind of doors did that open up that might have otherwise stayed closed? Reframing your perspective. Rather than dwelling on the negative aspects of the situation, reframe the situation in a positive light. Think about the lessons learned, the opportunities for development, or the opportunities that may lie beneath the surface. This shift of perspective can help to cultivate a more positive and resilient outlook. The ability to see the positive side of any situation is an acquired skill that requires practice and a certain amount of belief. Some individuals are naturally inclined to be optimistic, and this may be easier for them than others, while others are naturally pessimistic, and it may be more difficult for them to reach positive perspectives. Instead, we should learn to embrace the changes in the world around us and in our own lives. This can be achieved through the Stoic principle of Amor Fati, which encourages us to turn our resistance into acceptance, our stress into relaxation, and our time and energy into focus on what we can control. Ultimately, this can lead to a more content, resilient, and intentional life. From now on, I will modify the serenity prayer to include the phrase, "God grant me the power to love the things that I cannot change."